Welcome back everybody. Let's have a look at XRP, work out if we're going to go down or if there's a bounce likely to take place. We've got to look at Bitcoin first obviously to work out what's going on, because it was Bitcoin that did this to everybody. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know Binance recently upgraded my account, so I can now offer people a 20% off their trading fees. If you already trade with Binance, that's fine. You can set up a second account though, just to let you know. You just can't refer yourself, and you need to use alternative ID, so you can't use a passport twice, but you can use driving license and so on and so on. So if you fancy getting some 20% off your trading fees, if you're a heavy trader or even just a light trader, it's still saving money. There's a referral link at the bottom of this video. But let's have a look at the charts then, shall we? We'll work out what's going on with all of this. Right, so Bitcoin, basically, this is the deal, okay? So this is exactly what happened yesterday. Let's zoom out to get a bit of perspective. You see we have a trend line here, okay, that's coming in all the way from 2017, where we've been rejected and supported and rejected and rejected and rejected and supported and rejected and rejected, and then for 1 or 2 days we were supported above it. That's basically what happened. We were rejected from this big time on our second occasion. So 2 days ago we came up, closed above it with a candle body beneath the trend line. Okay, our candlestick hit the top of this blue box territory, so it's a perfect support and resistance. Okay, so there's nothing for me to suggest that there's anything sinister going on other than supports and resistances. So we're not seeing whales dumping, we're not seeing manipulation, we're seeing supports and resistances play out almost perfectly. And then so what happened yesterday, we tried to break above it one last time and we couldn't, and we dumped down exactly from it. Now because this is such a significant support and resistance trend line, like I say, going back over 3 years, is very strong. So yes, we do have blue boxes in here, we do have moving averages in here, but this one appears to be almost the last stand before the bull market is effectively in position to go ahead. So what we're actually looking at now is seeing where we can bounce from. And I will move on to XRP, but just very briefly, what's going on here with Bitcoin is, yes, we're coming down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are now starting to curl over, and I suppose our support is going to be on our first pass, this green exponential moving average, which is coming in at around about 11,100. So if we get a wick down there, that would be a wick worth buying, just on the off chance that it has a continuation to and it's a bounce that moves up. Overall, the bullish moves are, the trend is good. We have golden cross back here, we've got continuation, we've got divergences across the main moving averages, which is all good. The drawback, I'm afraid, is the histogram, the MACD, and the lower lows and the lower highs on the RSI. That's fine, but we will be looking for bearish and bullish, divergence on that. But unfortunately, we don't quite have that yet. But one other thing that is in Bitcoin's favor and in the market's favor is we had a double bottom here, which was our first opportunity to say that maybe this downtrend that we've been in since 12,500 has finished. So we had a double bottom here, and we tried to move from it. We came down to that basic level again, and we didn't actually take that out until those two levels have been taken out, which are basically, where I'm expecting that bounce to take place, which is the green 50 exponential, around about 11,100. Once 11,100 gets, I suppose, kissed, and that's all I'm looking for, is a little wick to just kiss it, we'll be looking for a bounce from there. If that breaks down from there and we break down beneath 11,000 flat, beneath this Ichimoku cloud, which is again green, it's bullish, it's suggesting that there's still move to the up. If that gets taken out, then we will be looking at areas of 10,500 or so on. So at the moment, it's the bulls are really trying. They're fighting hard. It's a real battle on Bitcoin, and obviously that transfers over to all the altcoins now. The Bitcoin dominance has started to creep up a bit, so that means that altcoins are going to get hurt regardless. So at this moment in time, all eyes really are on Bitcoin, because it's Bitcoin that's going to make the move. If Bitcoin goes up, I imagine that altcoins are going to get hurt. Sats wise, if Bitcoin goes down, I imagine that alts are going to get hurt. In every respect. But for the moment, we've not taken out this double bottom, and it's 11,100 is the support area to watch out for. And breaking down from there would be bad. Any move up towards these levels, so they'll probably get looking for a rejection around this level, around 11,550, which is the blue box territory, and it's also the 10 exponential moving average. And also, if we did manage to break above there, we're talking about 11,700 as a pivot If we break above there and close above there, that'd be like a pivot signal to say that yes, there's more move to the up, and then we're looking to take out this upwards trending level of resistance, where we get rejection from. So there's a lot of support beneath us. There's a lot of resistance above us, and so we're, again, it's a square off right now. It's a battle, and we've got to look at these specific areas to work out where we're going to go from here. Now, if you wanna wait this one out, I wouldn't blame you at all, because to be honest with you, if we do break down from here, it could be quite nasty. Even coming down to this level, if that breaks down, then we'll be coming down to fill the CME gap around this level here, where the 200 exponential moving average is, where also this descending trend line is. So that is also a possibility. 9,600, 9,500, 600, around that area is still a possibility. But for the moment, we've got a lot of resistance above us, a lot of support beneath us. So waiting this one out wouldn't be such a bad idea. Because if we break above here and we close above here, and we got a positive cross on the MACD, the histogram's looking good. We've got RSI making higher highs, higher lows. It would probably mean that we're moving all the way back up to 14,000 and beyond. But for the moment, we're right in the middle of supports and resistances. The gains to be had either way, unless you're looking to scalp it, day trade it, are reasonably minimal. So let's have a look at XRP, what's going on with this. So again, XRP is going to move at this moment in time with Bitcoin. It's not really going to do its own thing at this point in time because the market's feeling uncertain, and with uncertainty comes uncertainty across the board, and that transfers over to XRP. So what we got here is more or less the same deal. We're already bouncing or finding support. I wouldn't say bouncing, but finding support on the green 50 exponential moving average. Kind of like our last stand here, before we come much further down to around about 23.4 cent. If we do come down to that level, I would expect a really good bounce. That would definitely be a good long. So I would also probably wait this one out as well, because if we do drop, it'll be a significant drop, probably all the way down to 23.5 cent. Where I made a video, I think it was like last week, to anticipate this. I wasn't saying it was going to happen, but if the downtrend continued, this would be a nice opportunity for the bounce. I called it the mega bounce, and that's where it would take place, around that level here, 23.4 cent or so. I would probably sail that one all the way up to basically where we are right now, maybe even getting rejected from where we are at right now. That's if we came down to that level. Now, we're not at that point yet, but we're getting kind of what I would call squeaky bum time, because we've got this downtrend here on this MACD. We had a moment where we thought there was going to be a change, but unfortunately we didn't get that change, and it's continued down, and it's getting ever so close to that 0 point. In fact, you could almost say that it's actually on that right now. A few more days like this, or a big drop, then it would be pretty nasty. And that 23.5 cent, 23.4 cent area is definitely not that far away at that point now. It's almost inevitable. Now, when we look at the RSI is different to that of Bitcoin. So we do have a higher high and a higher low. So that might also mean that, if Bitcoin decides to go sideways from here or snake around from here, that there might actually be a move from XRP, but there's nothing other than that to say that there would. And you can't trade anything on the back of that on its own. There's no other signals here to say that that's actually, is going to happen. But it's, it's a positive. It's a little tidbit, a little bit of hopium in this, I suppose, bearish scenario. Now, also, this level here hasn't yet been taken out, where we bounced from that purple, which is the 50 moving average. It's the basic simple moving average, and that low has not been taken out either, coming at around about 25.5 cent, and that was on the 27th, so just about a week ago. So realistically, when you think about what's going on right now, I mean, yeah, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look great, I should say, but we're still above levels that we were at, just over a week ago. So yeah, we've dumped across the board with Bitcoin and XRP, but only to levels that we saw like a week ago. So when the world, the crypto world that would be, is kind of getting all scared and worried about what's going on, now is not really the time to be scared. The time to be scared is if we start to see some of these moving averages, these major ones like the green 50, curling over. But at the moment, across the board, we've got divergences still. Everything's still looking quite good, and we don't have a cross on that MACD yet, and we're not beneath the 0 point. So I think this could just be an area where we're kind of consolidating after such big moves across the board. We had big moves with Bitcoin, big moves with XRP, and it was a consolidation area. It's also important to note that yesterday, if you look at traditional markets, they were all up, but commodities were down. So we had a big dump down with oil. Oil was down 3 or 4% at one point yesterday. Gold was down almost 2%. And if you view Bitcoin the same way that I do, it's kind of like a commodity. It moves with almost all the markets. It moves with not so much Forex, but it's definitely vulnerable to a dollar. If the dollar increases in value, then Bitcoin will decrease, because largely it's traded against the dollar with tether in a way, kind of. But other than that, it definitely does move with gold. It moves with gold. If gold pumps, if gold dumps, Bitcoin has a knock-on effect with that. So you could look at Bitcoin like a digital commodity, a store of value. You've heard that, a lot of people talk about that. A store of value, just like gold is gold is a commodity. Bitcoin could be viewed as a commodity, and so the commodities market generally was down yesterday, which wouldn't have helped Bitcoin regardless of this support and resistance situation that we've been speaking about. So we've got to look at the wider picture, and you've got to look at those commodities, see what's going on with those. If gold is going to continue to go down, if oil is going to continue to go down, then we might see a knock-on effect with Bitcoin. It's not going to help Bitcoin, because as I've mentioned, the traditional markets like the S&P, the FTSE, the Nasdaq, the DAX, all of those sort of things are all up. All the indices were up. So those who say, and I do say it too, that it's connected exactly to the major indices, it's not. It's more connected to commodities. It's basically connected to both, because even commodities are connected to indices. I'm boring you to death, I can see that. If you've managed to make it this far in the video, well done, well played to you. Basically, end of the day, what's going on is possible downtrend to continue, and bounces I would expect around 11,100, and that should play out also at the same time with XRP. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with that. I can tell I've bored you to death. In fact, I'm probably just talking to myself. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. Take care.